Video on Sunday, the 19th of March, 2023, just gone 3:02 p.m. Chicago time. Do hope you are doing well. So, I'm all coffeed up, got a lot of charts to get through, and it's the weekend futures market recap. Going to go through the Emini, going to go through the Forex charts, and going to go through some of the other futures markets. And I've got to say, this weekend I'm feeling really kind of conflicted. We had a super good call midweek. Hope everybody saw the video that went out on Wednesday. Led to a 100+ point rally in the Emini, and I'll kind of revisit those charts kind of briefly at the beginning. But where are we now, and what are we going to do? I don't know. I think it's going to be bumpy, but I think we're on the way up. And the reason I think that is because on the higher time frame charts, the Forex markets are strengthening. So this is the yen, the euro, British pound, and so on are strengthening, which means the US dollar is weakening. And when we have money flooded into the system, that means that the USD goes down and those other Forex markets kind of go up. So in general, I think we're going to go for more liquidity because of that, but it'll probably have to wait till we get some clarity on Wednesday's meeting with the Fed, and I think it's going to be bumpy along the way. And at the moment, we've had a little bit of profit taking. We're kind of sitting, waiting for the next kind of jump. But anyway, so there we go. It's going to be a little bit of a rambling rant, I'm afraid, this weekend. But I'm a little bit annoyed that we're kind of waiting for the Fed, as we always are, which is just not the way that free markets ought to operate. Anyway, let's start with the E-mini, and let's start down at the lower time frames, the 13,500 tip bar chart here. And this is the call that put out on Wednesday to say that this low is in. It was a classic pattern of end of trends rippling through the time frame with an inverted head and shoulder pattern. End of trend on the E-mini here on a left shoulder on the lowest time frame, pull back to end of trend on the intermediate time frame showing the head of this move, pull back to end of trend on the highest time frame showing the right shoulder here, led to this nice little rally exactly into 4,000 where we took profits. You can see here exhaustion buy, bearish divergence, flush pattern here. We're overdone, a little bit of exhaustion sell, taking profits quickly, bang, and we're sitting at cyclical support in the highest time frame, intermediate time frame. We've got some bars that are red. So, but if we break through this 39.32, that's not good. It's going to take us down. And if we look at what's going on with better momentum and better pro-am with the amateurs and professionals, here the professionals up here at the highs, we're taking profits. And we've got a little bit of a stair step going on here with Friday's activity. Wait and see. We could easily have some weakness because of this, because that's exhaustion sell getting the move going, and we're just bouncing off that bullish divergence. We haven't seen an exhaustion sell ending the movement here. And when you look at this chart, if I'm being totally honest, like we didn't see a hell of a lot of blue professional bars at the lows on here. Not here, yet we had here kind of getting going. We had some profit taking here at the highs and the highs and the highs. We didn't have a lot of blue professional bars down here. So maybe we're going to kind of sell off a little bit and see some blue professional bars kind of come in with exhaustion sell. 15-minute chart here, again, the pattern's kind of rippling through end of trends. So on the lowest time frame, pull back to end of trend. On the intermediate time frame, pull back to end of trend. We're about to make a pullback resistance on this highest time frame when that comes in, and so that's got to play out, pull back to end of trend. We got white bars here, so we're in a downtrend on the 15-minute chart. Here, this was a nice pattern. I kind of showed this on one of the shorts, which I did this week. Professionals, fade the amateurs, follow the professionals. The amateurs down here with Rambo patterns, being wrong-footed at the lows, we kind of have a rally in the test. The blue professional bars kind of step in. And here is where they buy the breakout, getting the move going here. And we'd come back into that kind of blue professional bar zone there. And so that whole thing needs to hold. The low of that blue professional bar is super important. So 39.20 or so is super important. That has to hold. That has to show that the professionals on any weakness will step back in and buy this thing. 45-minute chart here, and you can see the same pattern that I was referring to with the amateurs being wrong-footed. There's the Rambo patterns right at the bottom with amateurs being wrong-footed, potential reversal of an amateur breakout, and then the professionals kind of step in here, bang, at the lows, get the move going. But again, this whole area here, from that jump, from that get-go, has to hold 3,900. This whole area has to hold, and we have to get back up through 4,000. Now, as soon as we do that, we're on our way. But who knows how bumpy the ride is going to be on the way. You know, 45-minute chart here, yep, exhaustion sell, bullish divergence, flush pattern, and we came down. That's exhaustion buy, a little bit of a short covering rally, maybe getting the thing going, but I'm worried that, you know, we might have to test back into this kind of area here to really kind of prove it. So let's wait and see. And 135-minute chart here, yeah, a whole bunch of blue professional bars, exhaustion buy, getting this move going as a kind of test. Here we've got support on the highest time frame in due, but it hasn't cracked yet. So 4,000 is the goes. Like we get above that, you know, there's 3,999 level. We get above that, we're on our way, but we haven't done it yet, and maybe we're going to go through some super volatility before that kind of sets itself up. And you know, with Monday, Tuesday into Wednesday's Fed announcements, it's like I think it's going to be bumpy. So we'll kind of see. And then we'll look at the daily charts. We've got the indices kind of showing us different things. So the Emini and the Nasdaq are the strongest, and then the Dow and the Russell in particular is like super weak. So I don't know what that kind of shows us. Here's the E-mini with the blue professional bars at the lows here, and we're trying to get out of this whole zone. We're trying to break out of that. We got rejected here the first time. You know, we kind of sat in the middle of that zone. We have to get going. Support on the intermediate time frame is due in. It's signaled on a whole bunch of the different indices and ways I look at this, because you can look at it as an index, as a futures, and as an ETF, and so that's kind of signaled on different views. So it's in there as a low, but that low is super important, and I just wonder if we're going to have to play out this energy resistance into support on that highest time frame, because you know, if I look at this kind of with no bias, you know, this is below resistance on the highest time frame with white bars showing a downtrend. So that's a strong pattern. So are we going to have a sell-off and kind of go in to test these lows? Nasdaq's looking stronger. You know, here we've made a little pullback to end of trend pattern, and we got resistance on the intermediate and the highest time frame here. That exhaustion buy was kind of getting the move going, and so we just need to break up through 13,000, and on the Nasdaq that's looking good for, you know, some strength. So we've ended up with the Nasdaq on these daily bars, you know, with just Friday's activity was a tiny little blip. Thursday was really kind of getting the move going, whereas on Friday on the E-mini, you know, it was a lot less convincing there. Dow, you know, that's weak. And we got these resistance on the highest and the intermediate time frame, and we've still got that intermediate time frame to come in. And here on the daily chart, that looks like a stair step. You know, have we really had an exhaustion sell at the bottoms? No, these are kind of getting the move going. We've got flush, flush, flush patterns going on. So you know, that blue professional bar has to hold. We have to get above the highs of that, you know, Thursday, Friday's kind of highs to prove that, and then the trailing stop will come down and we'll bust through it. But it's weak at the moment. And then the Russell, this has not looked good. So, you know, Thursday, Friday, we kind of gave up the gains on Friday that we had Wednesday, Thursday. And here, we've still got a little bit of time to run. That's exhaustion sell. You look at this, yep, I mean, that's better in terms of making a low down here with exhaustion sell. So maybe that is right. Maybe that is, you know, like this pattern, exhaustion sell with blue professional bars that allows us to rally. But the close was very weak on Friday. And so, you know, it's getting above this 18,000. If we do that, once we do that convincingly, we're on our way. But at the moment, that chart just does not look as strong as the others. So there we go. I hope you can hear it in my voice that I'm a little bit worried that, you know, Friday's activity didn't show us the strength that we got kind of Wednesday into Thursday. We didn't have a convincing follow through where everybody kind of jumped on board a change in trend. And so I think we're going to have to wait this week and go through a bit of a bumpy ride until we get some kind of resolution on that. Let me show you the daily charts on the Forex, because this is the whole point about weakness in USD, strength in the other Forex pairs. If we have a weak USD, that's because the system is being flooded by dollars, and flooding the system with dollars is, you know, good for asset prices. So Japanese yen here, low was made, blue professional bars down here at 70. And now we're up at 76, and look at this whole bunch of blue professional bars, stair step up, We've got a signal sign of strength here, kind of coming in with the red arrow pointing upwards. That's kind of looking good to kind of take off. So Japanese yen looking strong. The euro this week, we had this crash down. I'm not sure what day that was, Wednesday potentially on the euro. And exhaustion sell, bullish divergence, we get back through 108, and yep, that's looking good for the euro. But that blue professional bar is, we need to prove ourselves and get through the highs of that. British pound was looking pretty strong as well. Again, blue professional bars on the lows here on this dip, and we've kind of come back up, signs of strength. So that's all kind of good, having had the exhaustion sell down here at 105. And we're up at 122. So British pound looking strong. Aussie, same thing as the euro, kind of sold off a little, but this we've come back up, so we just need to break through that 67.5 kind of level, and that's kind of looking strong. So you can see on all of those Forex charts that the blue professional bars have come in on that dip, and they appear to be strengthening and busting up. So if we get continuation of that, that means strength in those, weakness in the US dollar, more USDs kind of flooding the system, and therefore asset prices kind of rise. So, but on the other hand, the other things that are strengthening are the things you'd expect if we're having a run on the banks and the banking system. So Bitcoin this week, holy hell, we're up at 28,000 and high. And so here you can see exhaustion sell, and that's a classic kind of U-turn. We tested sometime in the last few days into that breakout zone, and it held. We break back up through those blue professional bars here at 22, and we're at 28 on Bitcoin. And that's because Bitcoin was invented in order to get out of the banking system. Satoshi Nakamoto invented it in 2008 because of the banking crisis. And then we got gold rallying hard. We had all of our signals back in November, triple signals kind of going on, and then another U-turn going on here, and we're up at 2,000 on gold, or just under. So blue professional bars kind of buying that like there's no tomorrow. Silver, I think, is followed in because it's kind of following the gold signals, and we're up at 22, not as strong as gold, but kind of making new highs. And then bonds have strengthened after we had those signals a couple of weeks ago with these blue professional bars, but it has to keep on going through here, otherwise that's kind of profit taking. So if we start breaking through the lows of that sequence, that's not good, and bonds will be kind of coming down. But this is all being bought in anticipation of rates coming down. So Fed kind of lowering rates or stopping raising rates. Again, I hate saying it. I hate just following the Fed announcements as being the thing that drives the market. It's just not the way free markets should operate. So I suppose I'm bullish because of the Forex charts, but I'm not convinced yet on the index charts that we've got a real strong rally on our hands, and I think until that plays itself out, it's going to be bumpy. So let's see, what have we got left to do? Yeah, let's just look at the tick bar charts, and we'll go through these with some signals and just see what the triple signals are showing here. So this is all the better indicators, the best of the better indicators, all in one on one chart. The week's activity is shown with the vertical solid yellow lines, beginning of the week, end of the week. We had a huge sell-off in the euro here, luckily took profits at 108 and been kind of sitting out of this at the moment. But all the blue professional bars came in here, exhaustion buy patterns getting the move going. No signal at this point here because we never got exhaustion sell down here at the lows, and we're kind of in no man's land at the moment with the with the euro sitting between this 106 bottom down here and the high at 108. British pound. Here we go. Here are the signals. Last week, bang, into some strength when the weakness kind of came in. Blue professional bars, another triple signal, another one here. So we got British pound looking strong there. Got Aussie dollar. The signals were a couple of weeks ago, but they were late into that. We never got a signal there, and that's because we never got a grey overbought at that point. But we kind of fell off into a downtrend, but we bounced from here. So no signals on the Aussie, Japanese yen. This was nice a couple of weeks ago, and then some weakness here, rallying at the moment. Just looking at all these blue professional bars, that came in kind of on that Thursday into Friday. E-mini on the 13,500, there's the profit taking that we got Thursday into Friday, and we've got a stair step on the way down here, so it's not kind of good. And 10-year, there we go, that was the signals. I think this was Wednesday, that had a nice kind of rally, and we've had blue professional bars, exhaustion sell kind of come in here, same thing. Didn't signal because we're not oversold, we didn't get the background in red just like these patterns here, but it held, kept on going up. Bit of profit taking here. We haven't signaled yet because we've got no breakthrough, better pro-am. And then here are the signals on gold. Bang, at those lows, took off. A little bit of profit taking here, but we've kept on going up. A whole bunch of blue professional bars coming in under 2000, so that's going to be a little bit of an area where we're going to have trouble. A little bit of profit taking going on there. Silver, no blue professional bars at the highs yet on silver, but let's wait. And Bitcoin still trading during the weekend, which is great. You can see here that's how the move kind of started off. Yep, some profit taking here, but then exhaustion sells set in, blue professional bars, and we keep on going. So crude, Martin Armstrong was right for last week. He said it was going to be a panic cycle in crude. We definitely got that with this sell-off here at 80 bucks, bang, and really accelerated into these lows. But now we've got a whole bunch of triple signals going on. Blue professional bars come in. We've got exhaustion, sell, bullish divergence kind of down here. So it's 66. So let's see if that's going to rally this week with crude. Natural gas, we keep on testing into those lows. We're down at 235 now. Yep, we did have a nice signal up here at $3 into those lows, but the volume is really starting to come in on natural gas at these lows, so at some point that'll be a good buy. Copper's not been signaling at all. It's been pretty junky on the way down for 2 weeks, so nothing going on there. And then we've got the ags. Nice move in corn this week. That was a nice signal, kind of long. Soybeans, short signals here. That one didn't work out. We kind of come down to more exhaustion sell, blue professional bars kind of come in there. And lastly, wheat. Yep, wheat, that's a nice signal at the beginning of the week. So wheat's kind of looking strong. So again, some of those commodities do well. If the USD is weakening, we get kind of natural strength in the commodities, so the ags, crude, and yeah, I suppose that's what I'll be looking for signals. So for me, Monday, Tuesday, I'm going to be looking at the Forex pairs to see if we're going to get continued weakness in the USD. So Japanese yen and the euro would be the most important. If they keep on rallying, that's potentially showing what the Fed might do on Wednesday. And then that'll give us kind of clarity what the equities markets are going to do. So there we go. Some weekends I feel really amped up about the charts. I can see kind of signals developing. This weekend, maybe not so much. Anyway, hope your trading is going well.